Life is a journey. We all travel a path, sometimes smooth, sometimes bumpy. We search for meaning and purpose along the way. What are we here for? Where are we going? These are big questions we all ask. The good news is that we are not alone on this journey. God walks with us, guiding our steps. He has a plan for each of us, a plan filled with hope and purpose. He loves us and wants the best for us. As we journey through life, let's remember that God is with us, ready to guide us towards a life full of meaning. Have you ever felt like you have a special calling, a purpose that's bigger than yourself? This feeling is a whisper from God, a glimpse into your divine destiny. Each of us is created with unique gifts and talents. These are not random. They are God-given tools to fulfill our purpose. Our divine destiny is not something we achieve on our own. It's something we step into, hand in hand with God. It's about using our gifts to serve others and make the world a better place. It's about living a life that brings glory to God and makes a difference in the world. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This powerful verse is a reminder that God is always thinking about us. He has a specific plan for each one of us, a plan that is filled with hope and promise. It's not just a general plan for humanity, but a personal and intimate plan for you and me. This verse reminds us that God has a plan for each of us. His plan is not to harm us, but to give us hope and a future. When we face challenges and uncertainties, it's comforting to know that God is in control and has a purpose for our lives. His plan is not to harm us, but to give us hope and a future. He wants to bless us and use us for His glory. Even when we don't understand His ways, we can trust that His intentions are always for our good. He wants to bless us and use us for His glory. We are precious in His sight, and He has great things in store for us. Our lives are meant to reflect His love and grace to the world around us. We are precious in His sight, and He has great things in store for us. This plan is not a mystery. He wants us to discover it through a relationship with Him. By drawing closer to God, we can begin to see the path He has laid out for us. This plan is not a mystery. He wants us to discover it through a relationship with Him. Through prayer, reading His Word, and seeking His guidance, we can begin to understand His plan and live a life that aligns with His will. Through prayer, reading His Word, and seeking His guidance, we can begin to understand His plan and live a life that aligns with His will. It's a journey of faith and trust, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. We can begin to understand His plan and live a life that aligns with His will. As we walk this path, we will experience His peace and joy, knowing that we are fulfilling the purpose He has for us. Let us embrace God's plan with open hearts and minds, trusting in His perfect wisdom and love. Hebrews 11:1 tells us, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." This verse encapsulates the essence of faith, a profound belief in the unseen and the hoped for. It is the foundation upon which our spiritual journey is built, guiding us through the uncertainties of life. Faith is the key that unlocks our divine destiny. It opens doors that seem impossible to open and leads us to paths we never imagined. Just as a key fits perfectly into a lock, faith aligns us with God's perfect plan for our lives, allowing us to step into our true purpose. It's about trusting in God's plan, even when we don't fully understand it. Life is filled with moments of doubt and confusion, but faith provides the strength to move forward. It is the quiet assurance that despite the chaos around us, there is a divine order at work, orchestrating every detail for our good. Just as a seed needs faith to grow, so do we need faith to step into our purpose. A seed, when planted, must trust the process of growth even in the darkness of the soil. Similarly, we must trust that our faith will lead us to blossom in due time, even when we can't see the immediate results. Faith allows us to see beyond our limitations and trust in God's power to work in our lives. It gives us the vision to see possibilities where others see obstacles. With faith, we can climb the highest mountains and traverse the widest valleys, knowing that we are never alone in our journey. It's about believing in the unseen, trusting that God is working behind the scenes, even when we can't see it. The night sky, filled with countless stars, reminds us of the vastness of God's creation and His infinite power. In the stillness of nature, we find the peace to trust in His unseen hand guiding us. Faith empowers us to take bold steps, knowing that God is with us every step of the way. It is the courage to walk the path less traveled, the strength to stand firm at life's crossroads, and the assurance that, in every moment of decision, we are supported by a divine presence. With faith, we are never truly alone. God speaks to us in many ways, through His Word, through prayer, and through the quiet whispers of our hearts. To understand our divine destiny, we must learn to listen to His voice. The Bible is God's love letter to us, filled with guidance, wisdom, and promises. It's a map for our journey, showing us the way and encouraging us along the path. Prayer is our direct line to God. It's a conversation, a time to pour out our hearts and listen for His gentle guidance. When we quiet our minds and open our hearts, we can hear His voice speaking to us, leading us towards our purpose. Moses, a life transformed. The story of Moses is one of the most compelling narratives in history, showcasing the incredible journey of a man chosen by God to lead His people to freedom. From his humble beginnings to his monumental achievements, Moses' life is a testament to faith, courage, and divine purpose. The story of Moses is a powerful example of how God can use ordinary people for extraordinary things. Born into a time of great peril, Moses was hidden by his mother to save him from the Pharaoh's decree. He was found and raised by the Pharaoh's daughter, growing up in the Egyptian royal court. Despite his royal upbringing, Moses never forgot his Hebrew roots. Moses was a shepherd, tending his flock, when God called him to lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. This calling came in the form of a burning bush, a miraculous sign that marked the beginning of his divine mission. Moses, initially reluctant and full of self-doubt, questioned his ability to fulfill such a monumental task. Moses doubted himself, but God reassured him, saying, "I will be with you." This assurance gave Moses the strength to confront the Pharaoh and demand the release of the Israelites. Despite numerous challenges and setbacks, Moses persevered, driven by his faith and the promise of God's presence. And with God's help, Moses led his people to freedom. The journey was arduous, filled with trials and tribulations, but Moses' unwavering faith and leadership guided the Israelites through the Red Sea and into the wilderness. His story is a powerful reminder of what can be achieved when we trust in a higher power and remain steadfast in our purpose. This story reminds us that God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. Moses' transformation from a shepherd to a leader of a nation illustrates that divine purpose can transcend our limitations and fears. It shows that with faith, even the most ordinary individuals can achieve extraordinary feats. He can use anyone, no matter their background or perceived limitations, to accomplish His will. Moses' journey is a testament to the power of faith and the importance of answering the call, no matter how daunting it may seem. His life encourages us to embrace our own potential and trust that we too can be instruments of change. When we surrender to His plan and trust in His power, He can do amazing things through us. Moses' legacy continues to inspire countless generations, reminding us that with faith, courage, and divine guidance, we can overcome any obstacle and fulfill our true purpose. God's perfect timing. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verses 1 to 8 reminds us, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own. Sometimes we may feel impatient, wondering when our breakthrough will come. But God is working behind the scenes, preparing us for the fulfillment of His plan. Trust in His timing. He knows the perfect moment for everything. The power of prayer. When we face uncertainty or doubt, prayer is our lifeline to God. Just as Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, seeking strength and guidance, we too can find solace and direction through prayer. Prayer is not about reciting empty words. It's about connecting with our Creator, pouring out our hearts, and aligning our will with His. Through prayer, we invite God's presence into our lives and allow Him to work in and through us. Embrace your destiny. Each of us has a divine destiny, a unique purpose that only we can fulfill. Let's embrace this calling with courage and faith. Let us listen to God's message, trust in His timing, and walk boldly into the future He has planned for us. The journey may have its challenges, but remember, God is with us every step of the way. He will never leave us nor forsake us. Let's step out in faith, knowing that as we align our lives with His purpose, we will experience the joy and fulfillment He has in store for us. Our divine destiny awaits. Let's embrace it with open arms.